She reached the Udara tree and set down the calabash. With calm and practiced movements, she began her incantation. Her voice was soft but powerful, blending with the early morning forest sounds. When she finished, she gently lifted the calabash and left it on the ground. When I was 12, I loved adventure so much. Yeah, you heard me right. My friends Danso and Coffee are just like me. Well, we share a love for adventure and, more than anything, for the forbidden feats left by the village native doctors. I mean, we crave for the foods meant for the gods. Fun, right? Well, this is the story of our latest adventure, which went from a tasty treat to a big mess. Big one. Our village is Ode in Africa, surrounded by a thick forest. The trees are so tall that they seem to whisper secrets. The air smells of wet earth and flowers. The paths in the forest are often overgrown, and the deeper you go, the more you feel the old magic hiding in the shadows. My name is Soa. This is one of my stories. Please subscribe to Adventures of Soa to enjoy captivating stories about me and the beauty of Africa. Danso, Coffee, and I often went into the woods, not to hunt or gather, but for something more exciting. The village native doctors and spiritual leaders leave food at certain places around the village, like crossroads and riverbanks. Probably you must have seen people do that. Well, they do this to please the spirits and bring good luck. But for us, it was a tempting treat. We don't just care. Our first big adventures with these forbidden leftovers happened by accident. By accident. We were hunting squirrels and our stomachs were growling when we found a pot of freshly cooked jollof rice with crispy chicken legs and chicken breast. The smell was so amazing that we couldn't resist. We took the food to a hidden spot in the forest and ate like kings. Danso, with his usual spell to keep us safe, made sure no spirit would follow us. Yep, he says one or two magic words, which we don't even know if it's working. After that, we made it our secret indulgence. One morning, we decided to pick Odala fruits from the Odala tree. The Odala tree, with its sweet and sour fruits, was a place where they used to keep these sacrificial foods intended for the gods. We woke up before dawn because that's the best time to pick fresh Odala fruits from the ground. The fruits are known for their unique taste, making our adventure even more exciting. As we approached the Odala tree, the air was cool and fresh, and the early morning's light made everything look magical. We carefully picked the fallen Odala fruits. Just as we were about to gather the last few fruits, we heard a faint rustling noise. We froze and hid behind a large bush. Looking through the leaves, we saw a woman coming towards us. She wore a white wrapper and had a calabash on her head. The calabash was decorated with colorful beads and feathers. She moved with a graceful, mysterious air. She reached the Odara tree and set down the calabash. With calm and practiced movements, she began her incantation. Her voice was soft but powerful, blending with the early morning forest sounds. When she finished, she gently lifted the calabash and left it on the ground. A shimmering smoke rose from the calabash and vanished into the air. After she left, Danso, Kofi, and I looked at each other with excitement. The calabash, still glowing faintly from the smoke, was too tempting to ignore. We approached it with a mix of curiosity and caution. When we looked inside, wow, we were amazed. The calabash was filled with delicious beans porridge, bubbling with lots of fish. The rich smell made our mouths water. We had never seen such a tempting sight. The porridge was like a treasure trove of flavor. Danso, being careful as always, said his few magical words to make sure we were safe from any lingering spirits. His chant was quick and confident, and we felt the air settled around us. Satisfied, we each took some porridge and enjoyed every spoonful. The beans porridge was incredible, spicy, savory, and satisfying. The fish added deep taste that made it even better. We ate until we were full, savoring every bite of the surprise feast. When we finished, we cleaned the calabash and placed it back where we had found it, leaving no sign of our visit. One Saturday evening, our adventure took a new turn. Ako, the native doctor, known for his elaborate food offerings, was famous for his riverbank offerings to appease the Mame water deities. Ako's offerings were legendary: pounded yam and bitter leaf soup, with bush meat that made our mouths water. We had enjoyed his offerings before, and each time it was amazing. As dusk fell and the forest grew darker and spooky, we hid behind thick vines and bushes near the river bank. The gentle sounds of the river mixed with the calls of nighttime animals. We waited eagerly. Ako appeared, and we heard the soft thud of his offerings being placed on a large stone. The food was steaming and smelled wonderful, promising another unforgettable meal. When Ako left, Danso did his usual spell, murmuring under his breath, waving his hands in patterns, and making sure no spirit would follow us. We quickly took the food, carefully putting the pounded yam and soup into our bags. We went to a hidden spot by the river where we enjoyed the meal with a deep sense of satisfaction. We washed the plates and our hands in the cool river water, put the plates back, and hurried home. Could you believe that? Back at my house, I was too full to eat dinner, which surprised my mother. The next day, I woke up excited and ready for more mischief. More mischief. Danso had a new plan. We had noticed a shrine at the edge of our village where fresh foods were sometimes left. The shrine was surrounded by palm fronds, which people believed were a barrier. Anyone who broke through would face serious consequences. But our curiosity and greed made us ignore our fear. I guess we were kids though. The next afternoon, we set out with the added worry of sneaking into a forbidden place. The shrine was hidden, surrounded by palm fronds and ancient trees that seemed to protect it. Danso, excited but nervous, whispered his incantation and pushed aside the palm leaves, breaking through the barrier. Inside, we saw a mix of fascinating and frightening sights. The shrine was filled with all kinds of food, both fresh and rotten. There were pots of soup, bowls of pounded yam, and snacks, some unrecognizable. The air was thick with smells, some good, some bad. It was a feast for the senses, even though it was forbidden. Forbidden. Danso grabbed packets of biscuits and soft drinks. Coffee, always brave, took pots of soup and pounded yam. We hurried to a hidden corner of the shrine, away from any potential watchers. We enjoyed every bite of the rich soup, relishing flavors we had only dreamed of. The thrill of our successful theft was mixed with the feeling of wrongdoing. We not only took the food but also left the shrine in a mess. A big mistake according to local beliefs. We finished our feast, leaving behind a trail of wrappers and food scraps. The next day at school, we proudly handed our biscuits and sweets to our classmates. The joy of being seen as generous was great. Hannah, a friend from childhood, got special treats of chocolate and biscuits. Boys must be men. We felt unbeatable, our bellies full and our spirits high. But our joy didn't last long. During the afternoon class, everyone started to feel uneasy. Faces turned pale and eyes darted nervously. Hannah suddenly ran out of the classroom, and soon others followed, rushing to the back and vomiting. The classroom turned chaotic, filled with groans and retching sounds. Panic spread quickly. I joined the line at the school toilet, finding Danso and Coffee already there, holding their stomachs and waiting to get in. I was feeling sick though, barely holding back my nausea. As the day went on, we were called to the principal's office, our discomfort obvious. The principal, with his stern look and serious tone, listened to our story about the shrine's forbidden feast. The school buzzed and with whispers and laughter at our expense. The principal gave us a lecture and extra chores, stressing the importance of respecting local traditions and the consequences of our actions. Well, if we have ears, we would listen. When we got home, our earlier triumph was replaced with regret. Our mothers and sisters who didn't know about our escapades were shocked and worried. The village doctor came again, this time to treat everyone who got sick from the food. My sister, worried about me, got our mother to act quickly. The doctor's treatment worked, but left us feeling sticky and uncomfortable. By the next morning, the swelling had gone down and we were back to normal. Physically, we were fine, but our reputations were hot. News of our misadventure had spread and we faced a mix of mockery and sympathy from our peers. Later, we each tried to figure out where things had gone wrong. Danso insisted he had done the spell right. Where did he even learn the spell, for crying out loud? While Kofi and I wondered if we had missed any important steps. Despite our embarrassment, we couldn't help but laugh at how ridiculous the situation was. The adventure that seemed so exciting had turned into a lesson we would never forget. I hope you learned something from my story. So please do subscribe now. Thanks.